Holistic connection. Let's heal. Holistic connection. Let's learn. Holistic connection. Let's grow. Holistic connection. Let's be real.
Hello, everyone. This is Pamela Topjian, your host for Holistic Connections, Conversations with Holistic Practitioners. And my guest today is somebody that you may not typically think of as a holistic practitioner. However, the work that she does and the services she provides can be very healing for many people on so many levels. So I want to welcome our guest, Stacey, today and ask you to introduce yourself and share about what you do. I usually say what you do in the holistic healing world, but go ahead and share what you do out there in the world.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me for sure.
Absolutely.
My name is Stacey Ballard. I am an intuitive empath, meaning that I talk to people about questions that they may have about their futures, questions they may have about their present situations. I can help them connect with people on the other side and provide words of comfort and healing from beyond the grave.
Nice, nice. So do you consider yourself a medium then? Is that's mediumship?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mostly I do more intuitive stuff, but
Okay, yeah.
when people do need to connect with the other side, I'm able to connect them.
And we are recording on Halloween. This won't be out until later in November, but I want to ask you, just because we're recording on Halloween, do you find for yourself that they say that the veil is thinner this time of year? Is that something that you find to be true or true for you?
I think the veil is as thin as you want to make it at any
Okay.
given time. Everybody has psychic abilities or mediumship abilities. They just don't know how to tune into it. I would say the veil is thinner in the middle of the night between 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning on most days. I don't know that I subscribe to a particular time of year when it's more thin, only
Okay.
because I think if you actually wanted to and could learn how to, you could connect to the
Yeah.
other side whenever you wanted to.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about some of your offerings, some of your services, and then, explain to people in a way that for those who may not even know anything about, you do tarot readings, you do intuitive readings and animal communication. So explain to people in a way for somebody who's just hearing about it for the first time.
Well, there's a lot of people who don't subscribe to the theory of mediumship
Hmm.
or tarot or anything along those lines. So
Yeah.
I think it's all open to interpretation. For me personally, when I'm reading cards in particular, I go more based on what the cards say. When I'm doing intuitive readings, I can answer yes, no questions very quickly. I can get a sense of how things are going to play out a lot of times. And then when it comes to mediumship, a lot of people want to talk to their friends and family who have
Sure.
crossed over. And it's interesting the concept that people, well, first of all, there's people who are agnostic or against religion. And what I tell people is that I don't subscribe to a religion, like I subscribe to spirituality. A lot of times people think it's, playing with the devil, so to
Mm,
speak. Which can be a little bit frustrating as well. But what I
sure.
find in general is the more I can validate people's loved ones from the other side, the easier
Yeah.
it gets for people.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, if there's things that come up that they can't they can't deny, then yeah. Yeah.
Correct.
So what do you usually say to skeptics or, people who have those misconceptions or misunderstandings?
I feel like it's good to validate where people stand.
Yeah,
If they don't want to believe in any of it, they don't have to listen.
right. Absolutely.
If they want to be a believer, I can attempt to get them a message. Although sometimes the other side doesn't like to cooperate when people are being stubborn. So I usually find that for most skeptics, once I start talking or giving them messages, then the veil sort of shifts a little bit for them.
Yeah. So one thing that we had talked about beforehand was that you're passionate about working with people who suffer from alcoholism,
Correct.
addiction, even some suicidal ideations. In what ways are you working with those people, and how can the services you provide help them through that?
Well, I think it's important to understand that addiction and alcoholism are diseases. They're
Mm-hmm.
not choices. And for a lot of people, they don't know how to escape themselves or the feelings that they're having. And so escaping their own mental acuities is a lot easier. And so they fall into the realm of addiction or depression or suicidal ideology. And all of these things, I like to remind people that A, they do have a genetic component to them,
Yeah.
and B, that I think the latest statistic is 80% of people who suffer from diseases of alcoholism or addiction also have suicidal ideology. Um,
Yeah.
and as a society, it's something we need to talk about more to make it be okay to seek treatment in whatever form works best for people. And so I do a lot of lives on Facebook and
Okay.
some free group readings. And one of the things I like to do is create a safe space for people to talk about their issues with mental health diseases or addiction, alcoholism. And I want to make it okay for them to seek out help.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the premise of Alcoholics Anonymous in particular is based on people reaching out their hands to help other people and working a program that allows you to A, get honest with yourself about what's going on in your life, and B, gives you a tool chest of things that you can use to hopefully get sober, stay sober, and lead a productive lifestyle.
Yeah. Yeah. Go on to lead a productive lifestyle
Mhm.
after all the healing. So would it be mainly the intuitive readings that you're doing with people that come to you with those issues, or are you using the cards or
I
your
do a
mediumship ability?
combination.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
usually do more what people ask. I do a lot of guided meditations
Oh, okay.
to help people ground themselves and
Nice.
to also connect in themselves
Yeah.
to people that they want to talk to. So I do those frequently. And when I'm doing lives, what I tend to do is answer the questions, and then I'll pull a card to support
Yeah.
whatever intuitively I'm feeling.
Yeah, yeah, great. So we should mention that how we met is through a Facebook group that is for women in our local area.
Hmm.
And I was doing just weekly card picks. I don't even call them readings because I did it very basic of short and sweet basic meaning of the cards. And there would be like a group of, usually it's like the group is huge, but usually between 20, 30 people would just pick a card from what we laid out. And I'm moving and very busy these next 2 months. And so I asked Stacey to step in for me, and she's been doing that. So I greatly appreciate that.
Yeah,
And
it's been fun.
yeah, yeah. And you've been doing it a little bit differently than I do, which I really appreciate because it didn't have to be exactly like the way I
Yeah.
do it. And I'm not a reader, so definitely that's great that you are able to actually offer more through there. So I'm just have an interest in the tarot cards. I actually used to be a card reader long ago,
Hmm.
but I never got too deep into it because just too busy and it would take a lot. And I'm sure you have put a lot into reading cards, but also having that intuition as well is really adds to being able to
Right.
do that,
Yeah,
for people on a more personal level than just like what the cards mean. Yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's great. You mentioned that you do some Facebook Lives,
Hmm.
groups, and things like that. So you're working with people one on one, of course, I'm sure, but
Yes.
do you also do some groups other than like are they Zoom groups or is it just all on Facebook or where
Well,
are you
I
doing the
do a lot
groups?
of in-person group readings.
Okay.
For example, the last Halloween party that was coordinated by the group, there were, I would say, probably a dozen people or so that I did a group
Hmm,
reading for at that party.
fun. Yeah.
So can get a little chaotic when there's that many people and that many people who from the other side want to talk as well.
Oh gosh.
Done a lot of private readings over FaceTime and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And that's just one-on-one private readings. Yeah.
Yeah.
And is that any kind of reading that you're doing that you will do that way? Like cards as well as
Mhm.
mediumship, or
Yeah.
like you said, is it just a combination probably as well?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and for people who pay for a full service, I do cards, mediumship, intuition. I do
All,
it all. So
yeah.
yeah,
Using all the tools in the toolbox and whatever
correct.
comes from whatever source. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's great. So we should mention your Facebook is Stacey's Intuitive Healing. That's the best place for people to find you.
Yes,
Okay. And we'll put that link down below as well.
thank you.
How did you first get started in all of this?
Well, I've been reading cards for quite a long time,
Sure. Yeah.
many, many, many years.
That's usually the way.
But that was pretty much all I dabbled in
Mm.
until about 4 years ago. I had a stroke,
Oh
and that's
my.
when I became more aware that
Wow.
I could communicate on a different level. I'm relatively young in this business. I do have
Yeah.
mentors that I work with,
Mm-hmm.
who also help guide me and make suggestions on how I can improve and things like that. But typically speaking, if I'm doing a reading for somebody that I know is coming up, oftentimes people from the other side will contact me in advance,
Mm-hmm.
and say, "Oh, you have to let so and so know that so and so is here." So
Oh gosh. Yeah.
that happens frequently.
Wow. And so how do you handle that then? Will you just go ahead and relay the message or
Not until I get into a more of a grounded situation. If I'm not
yeah.
grounded enough, it's hard for me to relay accurate messages.
Mm-hmm.
And so I like to make sure that I am spiritually sound before I pass on any messages.
Yeah. Yeah. So how has doing, you said you're relatively newer at this compared to, a lot of people are, have been doing that
Sure.
like their whole life or most of their life. So how has doing this work, how has it changed your life?
The messages that come for people from the other side are actually very cathartic.
Mm-hmm.
Not only for me, but for anybody who's listening. A lot of people want to know, is my loved ones upset with me? Are they mad that I wasn't there when they passed?
Mm,
All these things that they feel would be a negative emotion,
yeah.
just actually don't exist on the other side. And so being able to pass on messages that
Yeah.
your loved ones are with you, it's changed my life in that I have a better understanding of what the other side looks like.
Yeah.
I have a better understanding of what happens before we come here and after we get here and when we go home.
Yeah.
And for me, that has a level of comfort to it
Mm-hmm.
that, I'm not afraid of death, dying, anything like that. So
Yeah.
it's kind of a beautiful experience.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So let's talk a little bit about animal communication.
Sure.
So, can you explain what you do and how you do it, if possible? And, what are the kinds of things that people are coming to you who want that service? What are they looking for with animal communication? And is that with pets that have passed over, or is it the animals that are
Both.
currently alive?
I can do both.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
For most people, they want to know, because so by trade, I'm a veterinary technician. So I work in emergency medicine. And
Awesome. Yeah.
um, a lot of people, unfortunately, they lose their pets, whether it be because they've passed on or because they've made the choice to help them pass on.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times people regret that decision,
Mm-hmm.
or feel like they could have or should have done more, when 9 times out of 10, that's not the case.
Yeah.
So they want messages of, did I do the right thing?
Yeah.
And those are pretty easy messages to give.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, giving people that peace of mind, that they did do the right thing and they don't have to wonder the rest of their lives or have any regret, because
Right.
regret and guilt can hurt someone in many ways. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not just with animals. I mean, with
Right.
people as well. So there's, a lot of people want to know if, is my dad still mad at me?
Mm-hmm.
No, he's not.
Right, right.
So,
Yeah, yeah.
But a lot of times I can comfort animals by telling them, like I try to always communicate what I'm doing,
Yeah.
where I'm going next, what's going to happen. Most of the times they're just scared because they don't understand. So if
Yeah.
oftentimes they can tell me, where it hurts, what's
Mm-hmm.
bothering them, which is, I guess, a little bit of an advantage I have over my colleagues.
Yeah,
So
yeah. And I was going to ask that too then. Are you, getting these messages from the animals that you're working with, or do you have to sort of tune in and ask or anything, or is it just sort of like natural
um,
communication?
both. Sometimes it just comes naturally.
Okay.
Most of the times I tend to not engage unless I'm grounded.
Yeah, yeah.
So, that's just for protection mode.
Sure.
Because I don't want to take on anything negative if I don't have to.
Yeah, especially while you're working.
Yeah. And I do work in a scientifically based profession. So, you
Yeah.
know, most of the times I can sort of steer things in the right direction, but I still have to let medicine do its job.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. What kind of advice can you give to people interested in trying to develop their intuition, develop their mediumship skills, or even if they're interested in reading cards or any of that? What kind of advice
Um,
would you give to somebody new starting out?
the key is to find mentorship
Mm,
and to find somebody who can assist you in. There's so many different ways to read, whether it's you're getting visions or you're hearing things, or there's so many different ways, that it's important that you find a mentor who can help you develop along those lines.
yeah.
um, so for me in particular, mostly, I hear things in my head. Like, I don't hear voices or anything like that. It'd be kind of
Hmm.
weird, but and I get a lot of symbols. Okay, so for example, my wife committed suicide.
Oh my goodness.
And
So sad.
when somebody is coming through from the other side who wants to take responsibility for their own passing, a lot of times I'll see
You'll
her.
see her.
And
Yeah.
that lets me know that they're taking responsibility
Yeah.
for how they passed. So I see things in different ways that
Right.
sort of lead me down a path.
Yeah. So it sounds like self-awareness. So like you had to be aware and put the two and two together. Why is she coming in when I'm, we're
Right,
talking to somebody else and like, oh, that's how they're showing me that they're taking
right.
that accountability. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's important to trust the process for one,
Yeah.
and to be able to talk to somebody who can guide them through, and give them tips on how to develop their own skills. It's not, for some people it comes naturally,
Mm-hmm.
and for some people it just doesn't. But
Yeah.
I believe anybody who wants to try hard enough can
Yeah.
develop some skills.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that. We talked about how people can be very leery of the type of work that you do. So
Sure.
we both know that there are people out there that are scammers. So how would you advise that people be able to tell the difference or what to look out for?
Well, when people solicit you
Yeah,
without any prompting, then
right.
that's usually a scam. I tell people to go on word of mouth,
Mm-hmm.
get recommendations. If you've had a reading by somebody and it made sense, then
Yeah,
uh, go based on referrals.
yeah,
And once you get your name out there and you've done enough with people, then there's going to be enough evidence that people can fact check.
yeah.
Most scammers will look at your Facebook profiles and try to get information that way, and then make you
Mm-hmm.
think, or they say generic things
Yeah, that will fit for a lot of
that will
people.
fit for just about everything.
Yeah, that's good advice. So, anything else that you would like to make sure that people know, or anything else that you'd like to share before we end this today?
Yeah, I want to talk a little bit about forgiveness because I
Okay.
talk about this in a lot of my lives as well. Forgiveness is a powerful tool, and it's what a lot of people on the other side want you to experience as
Mm,
well. Um, Forgiveness doesn't mean we absolve anybody of any of the things that they've done to us. It doesn't mean we
right.
have to have relationships with them. It doesn't mean we don't set good boundaries and things like that. It just means, we move on with love in our hearts. And because when we manifest things, we can manifest positive and negative, right?
Yeah.
And so we can manifest all these feelings of inequality and hate and greed, and we can manifest that as well.
Yeah.
And if we don't let go of the things that have harmed us in the past, then we're going to continue to manifest those
Mm.
traumas. And being able to let go of those things is very freeing. And again, it's you don't have to make any concessions for anybody who's ever harmed you. You just
Right.
move on for yourself.
Yeah.
And
So
then
you
I
don't
think
carry that in you. Yeah.
exactly. And I think the important thing from what the other side wants us to know is that there's no negativity over there. It's all just love and it's
Nice.
kindness. And that's what we're supposed to be doing here, is practicing love and kindness.
Yeah.
And there's also no time over there. So time is irrelevant. There's also, like, we have a contract before we come here that we sign up for, so to speak. We tend to incarnate with the same lives over and over again. Soulmates can come in many different forms.
Hmm.
And we're given exit points on when we can choose to leave, more as infants and toddlers, and then more again as we become seniors. But it's all about choices and being on the right path, and sticking to what your contract called for. And we don't always stay on that path, but we can always get back to it.
Yeah.
With the right guidance.
It's always a way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Always a way back. So
Yeah.
anybody feeling stuck, know that there's always a way back, and
there is.
they can reach out to you as well to get some advice on how to do that.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the best place to reach you is just through Facebook, through your Facebook page.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll have that link below. So I want to thank you so much for sharing so much of yourself and sharing so much about what you do. It's been very interesting, and I was glad to have you as a guest, and I hope that people will reach out to you.
Thanks for having me. I really do appreciate it.
Absolutely.